as you know that shoulder injuries are very common and which is easily missed if you are not going into a proper hand. So first of all, regarding the shoulder injuries that we commonly encounter in day-to-day life is about the shoulder instabilities. What is meant by instability? It means that the shoulder will not be stable in its ball in the socket. So as such, the shoulder is a ball and socket joint, and the most of the stability is provided by the ligaments and the surrounding muscles. So if you have any sort of a trauma or any sort of an injury, the shoulder ball, the ball of the shoulder joint will come out of the socket, and it can lead to instability. So the instability can be basically of two types. It is called as a traumatic, which is called of any accidents happening on any road traffic accidents or any sports injuries happening, or atraumatic. Atraumatic means there should not be any etiology or something like any sort of any injury. It could be a trivial injury, or it could be due to any congenital, or from since birth his ligaments and the muscles are very weak. In this sort of traumatic shoulder dislocations or shoulder injuries, the treatment will be always a surgery. It doesn't mean that there is the conservative trial is not indicated, but there is conservative trial is indicated. But if there is always a chances of this sort of injuries to have a recurrence rate higher, and it happens in mostly in the young age, particularly shoulder injuries happens in the age less than 30, because that age the most of the people will be ended up in sort of increase in the physical activities and sports. So these sort of injuries are high chance of recurrence rate. If they have been not treated in a proper way, this can even lead to a chances of future osteoarthritis of the shoulder, that the literature as well as the studies has been showing. So this is about the shoulder injuries, particularly in terms of traumatic. And when we come to a traumatic, which is called as without any trauma, as I explained earlier, it is basically because of any ligamentous laxity, or what we call the congenital elasticity of the ligaments and muscles. These sort of patients should be treated initially conservatively, because these patients will have effect on both shoulders, and once we take a surgical call initial, this can even lead to the failure of the treatment. So the patient should understand that the patient should be counseled, and the patient should be selected in a proper basis after doing a proper clinical evaluation. So these are about the shoulder instability procedure.